Edgar Chagwa Lungu died on June 5, 2025 at the age of 68 in Pretoria, and instead of bringing closure, his death triggered a custody battle worthy of a stolen cow in the village kraal. Except this cow was a whole former president, and the kraal was the Zambian nation. In a continent where funerals often double as political rallies, Zambia took the tradition and stretched it into a full-on legal marathon. Let's start with the basics. Lungu's presidency, 2015 to 2021, was a mixed bag of borrowed money and broken promises. He courted China with the eagerness of a teenager texting their crush at 2 a.m. And in return, Zambia got new roads, airports, and stadiums, shiny symbols of progress that, unfortunately, came stapled to mountain-sized debt. He left unemployment high, poverty rampant, and the kwacha weaker than a drunk uncle at a wedding. By 2021, Zambians had had enough and handed Hakainde Hichilema a landslide victory. That should have been the end of the Lungu chapter. But Zambia, like most African countries, has a gift for recycling drama. Fast forward to his death. Normally, a state funeral is the one moment when enemies put down their knives, wear black suits, and say nice things they don't mean. Not in Zambia. Lungu's family, clinging to his will, declared that President Hichilema was not welcome at the funeral. Imagine that. A sitting president barred from mourning his predecessor. It's the African version of banning the chief mourner from the graveyard. The family decided the burial would happen privately in South Africa with no government involvement. To them, Hichilema wasn't fit to honor the man he defeated by 1 million votes. The Zambian government was not amused. They wanted Lungu repatriated, buried with state honors. So the case landed in Pretoria High Court, and just when the family thought they had locked down the burial, the judge ruled in favor of the government. Zambia, not the family, had the final say. And this is where the absurdity hit its stride. On June 25, in the middle of a funeral service, court officials interrupted the proceedings with legal documents. Imagine the coffin at the altar, the priest mid-prayer, and suddenly someone shouting, "Stop everything! This body is now evidence." It was part mourning, part courtroom drama, and sadly, at this moment, entirely Zambian. From that moment, Lungu's death stopped being about grief and became a proxy war. His supporters in the Patriotic Front cried foul, calling the government's actions a PR stunt designed to humiliate the family. Keeping in mind, their name is Patriotic Front, and they wanted him to be buried in South Africa. Yeah. Hichilema did, however, try to sound presidential, urging unity and dignity, but unity is hard to sell when the funeral playlist is gospel songs interrupted by breaking news bulletins about fresh injunctions. By August, the saga still hadn't ended. Appeals were filed, conspiracy theories mushroomed. Some whispered about witchcraft. And so we have this. That maybe the delays were signs of a spiritual tug of war over Lungu's soul. Others accused Hichilema of using the body as a political prop, while Lungu's loyalists accused the courts of being puppets. Zambians were left in a limbo of indefinite mourning, where grief turned into an administrative process and the man's coffin became a political football. But here's the real satire. This chaos wasn't surprising. It was Lungu's presidency condensed into death. His rule was marked by division, bitterness, and endless court cases. Why should his funeral be any different? He governed like a man always in dispute, so naturally, even his burial had to be contested. In life, he battled Hichilema at the polls. In death, his family battled Hichilema in court. Zambians got no closure because closure was never part of the Lungu brand. The irony is rich. When leaders are alive, they call themselves servants of the people. When they die, they suddenly become property disputes. In Lungu's case, the question wasn't whether he was loved or hated. It was whether he was government-owned. The national mourning period, 16 days, a record in itself, turned into a carnival of contradictions. Radios played gospel songs while callers phoned in to say they'd prefer actual closure over endless condolences. Some Zambians respected Lungu for his infrastructure drive. Others couldn't forgive the debt trap he left behind, and not to forget, the car does. But instead of finding space for both views, the country was forced to watch politicians hijack the funeral like it was another campaign rally. So where does that leave Zambia? Stuck in a limbo where mourning is suspended, healing postponed, and politics forever entangled with grief. Lungu's family insists they have the right to honor their father as he wished. The government insists the state has the right to honor its former leader. The people? They just want someone to pay the bills, fix the currency, and stop turning funerals into spectator sports.